All right, before we jump in, a quick but really important heads up. This is all for educational purposes. It is absolutely not a substitute for professional medical advice. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get into it. Did you know you could be walking around with the early signs of type 2 diabetes and have absolutely no idea? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on what many people call the secret sugar killer. You know that feeling, right? It's the middle of the afternoon, you've hit a wall, and all you want to do is crawl under your desk for a nap. We all just chalk it up to a long day or not enough coffee. But what if it's something more? That massive energy crash could actually be your body sending out an SOS, a signal that it's having a really hard time managing the sugar from your food. You know, the very thing that's supposed to be giving you energy in the first place?
So, to really get what's going on, we gotta clear something up. When people say diabetes, they're often lumping two very different conditions under one umbrella, and knowing the difference is absolutely crucial.
At its most basic level, diabetes mellitus just means your body's system for handling sugar, or glucose, is on the fritz. Instead of that sugar getting into your cells to be used as fuel, it gets stuck, and it starts to build up in your blood.
So let's break this down. Type 1, that's an autoimmune disease. Your body's own defense system basically attacks itself. It usually shows up when you're a kid or a young adult. But our focus today is on type 2, which is a whole different ballgame. It's a long-term thing, often tied to lifestyle and genetics, where your body's cells just start to ignore critical signals.
Okay, to really wrap your head around what's happening inside your body with type 2, we're going to use a super simple but really powerful analogy. Let's talk about a key and a lock.
Just picture this. Your body produces a hormone called insulin. That's our key. And every single cell in your body that needs energy has a door with a special lock on it. Simple, right? A key and a locked door. Now, when everything's working perfectly, it's a beautiful, seamless process. You eat something, your body breaks it down into sugar for fuel, and your pancreas sends out the insulin keys. That key floats over to a cell, pops into the lock, turns, and boom! The door opens, sugar rushes in, and your cell has the energy it needs. It's elegant, and it's vital.
So, if that's the perfect blueprint, where does the system break down? What goes wrong in type 1 versus type 2?
And this, right here, is the game-changing difference. With type 1, it's a factory problem. The place that makes the keys, your pancreas, has been shut down. No keys are being made, period. But with type 2, the factory is working just fine. In fact, it's probably working overtime, pumping out tons of keys. The problem is the lock. The lock on the cell door has gotten all rusty and sticky, and it just doesn't respond to the key anymore.
So let's zoom in on how this lock problem in type 2 actually happens. It doesn't just appear overnight. Nope. It's a slow, gradual buildup, and that's exactly why it's so sneaky. This whole sticky lock issue actually has a medical name: insulin resistance. It means exactly what it sounds like. Your cells are literally resisting the insulin key when it tries to open the door and let the sugar in.
And the immediate result? Well, it's like a massive traffic jam right at your cell's front door. All this sugar, this precious fuel, is just locked out. It's all dressed up with nowhere to go.
And this is the really dangerous part. That sugar that can't get in, it has to go somewhere. So it backs up into your bloodstream. And having high levels of sugar floating around in your blood is kind of like having tiny shards of glass flowing through your veins. Over years, it causes slow, silent damage to your organs, your nerves, and your blood vessels, often with zero obvious symptoms at first.
Okay, enough of the problem. That's the what. Let's pivot to the so what now. The really good news about type 2 is that you're not powerless. In fact, simple lifestyle changes can make a world of difference. So let's talk about a plan.
Look, nobody goes from 0 to 100 overnight. Real change happens in stages. Think of it like a 5-step staircase. Maybe you're on the ground floor, not even thinking about changing anything. That's fine. Or maybe you're on step 2, where you're just starting to think, maybe I should do something. The key is to just figure out which step you're on now and focus only on what it takes to get to the very next one.
Now, while type 2 is usually a slow burn, there are definitely some red flags, some warning signs that mean you need to stop what you're doing and see a doctor right away. Please pay close attention here.
These are absolutely non-negotiable. If you find yourself running to the bathroom way more than usual, if your vision suddenly gets blurry and stays that way, or if you get a little cut or a sore that just refuses to heal, those are serious red flags. Don't wait, don't guess, go see a doctor.
I want to leave you with this thought, because I know this can all feel a little overwhelming. Real, lasting change isn't about making some giant, heroic leap.
It's just about taking the next small, manageable step. That's it.
So I'll ask you this. Now that you know the difference, now that you have this key and lock analogy, where are you on that 5-step plan? Just take a second and be honest with yourself. Because figuring that out, that's the real first step